What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Dean.
I'm Chris.
Dean's got his giggles out, by the way.
They're all out.
They're all
Still
out.
crying.
The NFL offseason is soon to be in full effect. The NFL scouting combine just got started, so free agency is right around the corner. Trades are right around the corner. GMs are talking to other GMs. Quarterbacks are talking to owners, apparently. So a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Starbucks is in the news right now because of Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport. That, if you don't know that situation, go educate yourself. It is quite hilarious, honestly. The NFL season is in full effect, and you got insiders beefing with each other. So that's how you know. That's how you know it's getting spicy now. So we're going to get spicy. We're going to talk about potential landing destinations or the ideal landing destinations for some of the quarterbacks out there, both in the trade market and in free agency. So how we doing today, fellas?
Doing great. I've been thinking about these quarterbacks for a long time. Actually.
You sure you didn't just start thinking about them this morning?
No. I've been thinking about this for a while.
I have a Bleacher article up from November 27th that says, about this topic, that says the Jets are going to sign Sam Darnold and trade for Geno. That's the prediction from Bleacher Report.
What?
They're going to bring back 2 former Jets.
That would be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Is it like a serious article? Or
It's a Bleacher article. It's from November
Sure.
27th. That's right. I've got Gangrene bringing back 2 former starters who have since excelled in new settings and pitting them against each other on proven contracts. It seems wacky, but it's very Jets, and it's not a terrible strategy when you might not have great options in the draft and want to bolster your odds of hitting the jackpot.
He said, prove it contracts?
Yeah.
Geno is under contract, and Sam Darnold would cost $35 million. So unless they're going to pay $60 million for 2 quarterbacks, good luck with that, Jets. Jets going to jet. We'll see what happens with them. Is that why you've been thinking so much about the quarterbacks? Because
I've been thinking about a quarterback since I became a Jet fan.
Of course.
But I've had one guy in mind since we did our video about the Jets that one time. It's the same guy. If you haven't watched that video, go watch that video. We rebuilt the Jets, the Bears, and the Giants so far. So watch those videos if you want to, get up to date on our plans for those teams. But if you want to get into the quarterbacks, who's the first guy on the list?
I mean, I think I know where you're going with that. So I'll ask this first guy. Where do we think Justin Fields lands?
I mean, I think it should be the Jets. I said it on the video before. I think you give him a lot of guaranteed money in the first 2 years, give him a nice short contract, pay him, solid contract, and that's it. That'll be your bridge guy. If it works out, you extend him. If it doesn't, there's no long-term, residual from that. Draft a quarterback, see what happens. I don't think there's anything, you don't have anything to lose. You have a new regime, new offense. They have pieces to work with. He has his former college receiver on the team. There's plenty of reason to bring Justin Fields in. I just think there's no reason not to.
Yeah. I think Justin Fields is going to end up back in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's going to try and make a swing at Aaron Rodgers, and I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to want to go play there. I think they might try to go get Kirk, but honestly, I'd rather just bring back Justin Fields than bring in Kirk. So I think Justin Fields was good for them in his short time as the starter there. So I feel like there's no reason not to bring him back and give him another shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. I think Justin Fields is going to end up a Pittsburgh Steeler too. I think it's a foregone conclusion. He was good for them. Mike Tomlin had nothing but massive praise for the guy over and over again. So I think he stays. I don't think Justin Fields is going anywhere. Although if he does leave, I do think it's the Jets probably.
You don't think there's any kind of hard feelings for getting sat after such a good start to the season for Russell Wilson, who was a disappointment down the stretch? You don't think he feels any type of way towards the organization for doing that?
Probably does, but if they're going to bring him back and say there's no Russell Wilson this time, there's no real competition, then why the hell not, right?
They also gave him an opportunity that he wasn't necessarily being given elsewhere, and that's the reason that he's, going to make a decent amount of money this offseason. So
Yeah, but it just feels like he performed really well. He had a 10-1 touchdown
He was solid.
interception ratio.
He shouldn't have been benched.
And yeah, he shouldn't have been benched.
Probably.
It worked out for them for a
He was
few
not
weeks,
rewarded.
but yeah,
It worked out for them at first.
Yeah.
They actually punished him for playing well.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
That matters. It depends on the money he's getting everywhere. Like,
He's going to get a lot of interest from a lot of teams.
also, it's like, yeah, he didn't get rewarded for what he did in Pittsburgh, but I think, like, deep down, he knows, like, he did well. He did good. So, like, why would I want to go to the Jets, who are a dumpster fire of an organization, and potentially learn a new offense when I know the offense here, and
That too.
I did relatively well in this offense, and they're giving me a chance to be the starter again with this time no Russell Wilson and or no other competition. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the argument could be that the Jets have a new regime and you have a chance to be that new regime's guy.
That's true.
You know, you have a fresh head coach and GM who are not going to have a short leash. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a nice 4 or 5 year window.
Yeah.
You know, I think you have a chance to carve out a solid, length career with the Jets.
Yeah, but do you get more than 1 year?
Well, I think
Yeah,
as a
definitely
starter
get
there?
more than
Do you?
I think if it becomes
you play well.
a bidding war, like the Jets will probably be more willing to overpay and put extra years on the contract than a
Yes.
team like the Steelers would be. So if it comes down to like those two teams are heavily pursuing him, the Jets will probably get him. I feel
I
like
hope so.
I would probably have to agree with that.
if it comes
but
down to like I'm Justin Fields and I want a 3-year contract and you guys are both offering me 2-year contracts, who's going to be the one to fold and give him what he wants? Probably
the Jets. Yeah, probably the Jets.
You know, he plays in front of Tyrod Taylor, who's still on the team. I think that's a nice
Yeah.
vet to play with.
Do
So-
you guys think? Sorry, do you
Go ahead.
guys think there's any other teams in play for Justin Fields, or you think this is really it?
I think Crosstown, Giants. I think same stadium. I think the Giants are definitely in play for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I think a dark horse team for a lot of the quarterbacks on the market could be the Indianapolis Colts, who have a little bit of cap room and need a quarterback competition.
That would be
they've
interesting.
came out and said like they want it to be.
Yep.
They want Anthony Richardson to earn the job. So like they're definitely going to be in the market.
You wouldn't have to change the offense too much, I assume.
I
With
think
Justin Fields'
if
play
at all.
type, he could kind of do the same things they
Yeah.
wanted AR to already do. He might just be better.
I think a guy like
better.
Justin Fields will be too pricey for a team like that, though. Who doesn't like the Jets, the Steelers, probably the Giants, probably. Like I feel like they need a quarterback more than the Colts would need a quarterback per se. So I feel like Justin Fields is going to be a hot commodity. So I don't think the Colts are going to be in on that. You know,
So you guys both think the Steelers are the best fit, or that's just where you think they're going to go? He's
I
gonna
think
go.
the Steelers are the best.
I think the Steelers are a good
Fit
fit for
for
him. I
him.
think they.
Arthur Smith. I think that he just runs the
Yeah, I
Arthur Smith
think he
offense
ran the
well.
offense well, and I think there's no. I mean, the Steelers' defense is pretty set. They could add a few pieces like here and there, but the Steelers' main priority going into this offseason is adding more weaponry on offense. So I expect them to do that in the draft
So
and
I was
make the
about to-
offense better.
I was about to ask the question. Like, I know we said the Jets are a dumpster fire and all that, but is the situation in Pittsburgh like even that much better on offense? Like,
No, but you just trust their front office more.
true,
Yeah, I mean,
but they just.
the Jets have just bad luck in
Yeah.
every single fashion.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's real.
I think
bad.
like in a vacuum, the situations are pretty similar, but who do you trust more? It's the Steelers. If I was a quarterback, I'd like which front office would I rather play for? It's the Steelers, and it's not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. All right, so you have Jets for Justin Fields. You have Steelers for Fields. Here we go. All right, so the next one, we'll stick with the free agency market. I'll save some of the bigger names for later. I'm going to go with everyone's favorite player, Jameis Winston.
The Giants. I think Jameis is going to be a Giant. I think it makes sense. I think Jameis is he's a fun bridge quarterback, fun to the point where like he's exciting enough to put some fans in seats, like which the Giants need. Like he'll help with that, but he's not good enough to fuck up the tank and fuck up the draft pick. You know what I mean? Like you're still gonna lose if Jameis is your starting quarterback, but it'll be fun, exciting losses, which I think that's the direction the Giants need to go in. Fun, exciting losses. I think that's perfect.
And he's going to take chances.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get a starting job this offseason. I think James is gonna end up taking a backup job in Atlanta. I think he's gonna end up being Michael Penix's backup quarterback after they get rid of Kirk. Penix is not proven by any means, and I think having a veteran who could step in and run an offense would be really important for the Falcons. I think James would be the perfect backup.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of that as a possibility.
I like that.
I actually think that's a perfect match. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I will say that Jameis Winston ends up an Atlanta Falcons backup. I think it makes too much sense. I mean, this is going to be Penix's first season. We got a few games with him, but this is going to be Penix's first season. Who better to be your mentor than Jameis Winston, who, in a way, I mean, has a very similar play style, too, in terms of just being a gunslinger and taking chances and taking risks. So, yeah, I think that's a great fit. I didn't even think about that one.
This is where I could see the Colts being in play for James.
That's a good one.
True, too.
That's a good one.
He's good enough to be better than Anthony Richardson and start over him if they do a competition. But like you mentioned, he's also the perfect backup in today's NFL,
Right.
which I think will be good for Anthony Richardson. So.
And at this point in his career, if he's starting, he's just happy to be there. He doesn't, if he gets beat out for a job, he knows why he's there anyway.
Yeah.
Do we see him returning potentially to Cleveland?
I think they draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
There's no reason for them not to take a quarterback when they have, the second pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
There's no reason for them not
Could
to.
see him in New England as a backup too, to Drake May. All right, so Jameis Dunn. Speaking of the Atlanta Falcons, they just got rid of they plan on getting rid of a guy that just got paid massive amounts of money. Kirk Cousins. Where does Kirk Cousins end up?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
I mean, I think the best landing spot, considering another move would have to happen first, would be the LA Rams. I think that's a great spot for him. I think, he doesn't move much, just like Stafford doesn't move much. It wouldn't be too much of a change in the offense. I think Kirk can run what they run in LA. I think he would be the perfect fit there.
Yeah, it's tough with Kirk because you probably expect him to be better a full year removed from the Achilles injury, but also the tape is bad.
Oh
from
my
this
God,
past
he
year,
was better early.
Yeah, it was bad right before he got benched. So I don't know what teams are really looking for a guy who respectfully might be fucking ass. like he might suck. He might just suck. That might just be who he is. And
Reunion? If Darnold walks?
I guess as a backup to JJ,
as a vet to JJ, I think.
I don't know how many teams are really going to be looking to bring in a Kirk Cousins to be their starting quarterback is the point. I see him as more of a backup right now.
I view him as a backup too.
Who do you think's better, Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins?
Jameis at this point.
From what we saw last year, it's Jameis.
Wow. That's all.
It's wild
Bro,
to think
that's
about.
crazy.
Bad, bro.
And not saying Jameis is good. Not
Kirk
saying
was
Jameis is good.
bad, bro.
But yeah, no, the last few games of Kirk was ugly, bro. The worst, potentially the worst quarterback in the NFL. He didn't even have NFL level arm strength anymore. It wasn't
bad, bro.
You don't think giving a second offseason to recover fully from an Achilles is gonna help him?
It should help him, but also he's old.
He's old. It's not like he's young. He's got a lot of
How old is Kirk Cousins? What is
37.
He's probably going to be 37 going in.
He's older than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's
36,
old, bro.
37.
Kirk's been around, bro.
Bro, he was drafted in the same draft as RG3.
I know. I remember. That's
So-
He's
crazy.
been around.
But is he Yeah, I think he was drafted old too. 23, 24. So
Realistically, the perfect landing spot for Kirk Cousins should be Atlanta to be the backup to Michael Penix.
yeah, well,
But he can't go back. Obviously he can't go back there. I guess Minnesota's a good one.
I think that's
somewhere
the realistic.
I feel like
situation.
somewhere just to back up one of these young quarterbacks probably makes the most sense. Even if Cleveland drafts a quarterback Kirk, if you could get Kirk for cheap just to be in the room, he's a good vet. Kirk's been around.
Cleveland's
He's seen
been floated
it.
around.
Yeah, Kirk's seen it all. So he's a good vet. The Titans, even if they go out and draft Cam Ward, bro, Kirk should be cheap. Honestly.
Oh, he's gonna take a Russ deal.
Yeah, he should be really cheap. Even the Steelers, you bring back Justin Fields, shit, let's just bring Kirk in here, like just to be a backup, just in case. Like
Safety net.
I
any
really
of those,
do.
Even the Colts are probably in play for Kirk because they're not gonna, like I said, they're not gonna want to spend big on a guy who, in a perfect world, is going to be their second quarterback. Is in a perfect world, Anthony Richardson is the starter, so they're not going to want to spend big. So I think the Colts are in play here.
The Colts
I could
are
see
really
the Rams too, as you said before. I could see that.
The Colts are gonna flop between two terrible quarterbacks all season.
Oh, jeez.
It's just like the Rams.
That's what they've been doing.
Like you guys watching, you guys all know how we feel about the Rams. We make it very clear how we feel about the Rams. Like Kirk would be such a step back from Stafford from what we just saw, and I feel like the Rams are ready to win, and there's other quarterbacks that are available.
There's another guy
who give you a better chance in theory. So that's why I can't see the Rams ending up with Kirk. That'd be a massive failure. If the Rams trade Stafford and end up with Kirk Cousins, they failed.
I could see him as a backup there because he actually worked with McVay in Washington, I think, for a little while. Just looking at the coaching ties, even Green Bay as a backup makes a lot of sense too because of Matt LaFleur. But yeah, no, I think he ends up. I think definitely ends up in Minnesota again in a reunion. I think he ends up back there. KOC and bro, did you see the way he was welcomed back? Oh, yeah, Minnesota loves that man.
There,
He's a folk hero there now. So, all right, now we're down to a big four here, at least in terms of how the guys played last year. So, another ex-Jet, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Or actually the first ex-Jet. First of three.
This is the Raiders for me. I think it just makes too much sense. They're not in a position to draft a quarterback unless they trade up or the draft board just falls in a really weird way. They're in position to go after one of these guys. They got money to spend. New state, fairly new stadium, all that stuff. They're trying to put fans in the seats. So I think Darnold coming off the year he had, I think they'd be willing to get into a bidding war with maybe some other teams and overpay a little bit to bring Sam Darnold in.
I think the perfect Darnold spot would be the New York Giants.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I think would be a great bridge quarterback. The Giants, I think they're going to draft a quarterback, have him sit behind Darnold for a couple of years. I think your idea, we're going to get to it later about staff, but I know you said you want him to go to the Giants as a Giant fan. He's not ready to, the Giants aren't ready to win. I don't think Stafford would go to a team that's not ready to win. So I think Darnold would be a perfect fit for the Giants.
I like that.
Oh, man. See, here's my thing, because I think he's probably going to get a 3-year deal, 4-year deal from a team that's going to be desperate to pay him. My thing is, we just got out of a 4-year deal. Well, not even 4 years, didn't make it all the way, but we just got out of a deal with a quarterback. We cannot put ourselves in a situation where we're going to go get another potential starting quarterback in the NFL. We don't know with Sam yet. We just saw him. I mean, yes, he's good enough to play well in the regular season, but are we so sure that anybody can't just walk into the Kevin O'Connell system at this point and ball out in the regular season at the bare minimum? Like, are we sure about that? Which is where I'm like, I trust Dable. I like Dable, and I think his system's going to be strong for a quarterback, but that's the perfect situation in Minnesota.
I think the Sam Darnold discourse is kind of gross, bro. He just led the Vikings to a great season. Did he have a terrible last 2 games of the season? Yes, he did.
2 biggest games.
But he proved all season long that he is a starting quarterback and is fully capable of bringing a team to the playoffs, which he 100% did. He looked good. He looked like
he was an MVP candidate.
He looked like an elite quarterback for most of the year. And that's not an accident. That's not just a product of a system. Sam Darnold was making plays.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but
he was making plays that aren't just the system.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at all the destinations.
Just feel like you look at the
I could see the Steelers. This might be where Sam Darnold ends up. I think the Steelers.
I just think you look at the Giants, and like Matt said, like you just got out of that with Daniel Jones paying a bad quarterback after one good season. And granted, Sam Darnold was better than Daniel Jones was in his one great season.
100%.
very similar. So, like, why would you want to go down that same path? But they do need a quarterback desperately.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
they need someone. So
if you're not going to get staff from the Rams, obviously the GM and coach are on the hot seat. This is their year. I don't think they really care if they shell out a 4-year deal. They're not going to be there after to see that transpire. It doesn't really matter to them.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because if we kept them after this and we then show strides of becoming, like, say Shane has another good draft. Say we go from being a 3-win team, which we were, to a 7-win team, but competitive. Again, they're not going to be like...
With who at quarterback?
Sage Jameis, and we win fucking 7 games.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I just don't think it's in the range of outcomes for the Giants.
They also wouldn't...
7 games.
Jameis wouldn't be the answer when they're on the hot seat like that. I'm sorry. You're getting fired before the season started if you start the season with Jameis after not getting fired.
I'm going to be honest, bro. Like, for me, with the
Fields?
Giants, there's...
That's fine.
So you're not
He's
losing
better
your
than
job for
Jameis.
Justin Fields?
No.
Why?
Fields is definitely better than Jameis Winston. It's also an answer.
I don't know about that,
They're
though.
pretty close.
I don't think they're close. I think Justin Fields is a lot better and has way more potential.
Yeah, but
Winston-
one guy is getting delivered by the Lord from pick sixes.
I'm going to be honest, so
The other's
there's not shit really the Giants could do. Like,
Damn.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, they're just not.
That was so
like,
harsh.
Like, realistically, bro, like, Dable is getting canned.
I don't
after
think
this
we're
year,
that
bro.
far.
Bro, you guys are bad, bro.
Far from what? The
We're
playoffs?
a quarterback away from being a good football team.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not.
Yes,
no,
we
you're
really
not.
are,
No, you're
bro.
not. No, you're not.
Yes,
no,
we
you're
really
not. No,
are.
you're not.
We
No, you're
really
not.
fucking
No, you're
are.
not. What are you talking
know.
about?
I
The
think-
Giants are bad. The whole team's bad.
No, our quarterback sucks.
Bro. Yeah,
I
Deontay Banks
wa-
is mad good,
Yo,
bro. Your secondary's mad good,
We
bro.
can add a corner.
Add a corner, add a receiver, add a running back, add a linebacker, add a safety. Yeah, mad good, bro.
No,
a quarterback
the quarterback
away
makes the rest of the
a
team
quarterback
better.
away, a coach away, a good GM away. Yeah, they had 4
Yeah, no,
years.
you guys were a quarterback away.
Obviously, we weren't. The coach sucked. The coach blew.
Time the fuck
GM
out.
blew.
Time the fuck out. Does a quarterback make a team better, or do they not?
They do. Not
Whole
Jameis
team.
Winston.
Whole team. That's not. I didn't say Jameis Winston's gonna make us a fucking great team. I said we're gonna win 6 or 7 games with Jameis
That's
Winston.
a lot with Jameis Winston.
No, it's
with that roster.
Bro, 7 games is
It's a lot. Bro, the Giants
don't you
were
guys have
terrible.
a crazy schedule, too?
I think we do.
Yeah, you're not winning 7 games with Jameis
You're not winning
Winston,
no
bro.
7 games, bro. Even Darnold, bro, y'all ain't winning no
No,
7 games.
that's not true. We would win 7 games with Sam.
Bro.
And Stafford is not coming
Bro,
to the Giants.
our team is
bro.
not that fucking
Yo,
bad.
y'all are ass.
We're not that fucking bad.
Why would Matt Stafford, coming from LA, come to the cold New York Giants to lose, bro? It's not happening.
That's not true.
It's not
He'd win.
happening.
He'd
It's a
win.
pipe dream.
He would win.
Win what, bro? 6
10
games? 6?
10. We get Stafford, we win 10 games next year.
No, they're not
Did
winning
you even
10.
win 10 games with the Rams?
Yes,
this
he
year?
won 10 last year.
Exactly
Okay,
10.
Without half of his fucking roster.
They're
Bro.
10 wins against the
His O-line
Commanders,
was
against
destroyed.
the
His top
Eagles,
2 receivers missed like 6 weeks apiece.
and the Giants are not better than the Cowboys. They're the worst team in the
With
division.
Stafford, we are better than the Cowboys.
And that's not true.
Oh my
It's not true. It's
Yes,
not
we
true.
are.
It's not true.
Yes, we
It's
are.
not true.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
With
true.
Stafford, we're better than the Cowboys, bro. Stop.
Bro.
Cowboys are not a good football team. I dare you to fucking say so are the Giants. We're a fucking quarterback away.
They're not a good.
We are.
You're delusional.
We
You're-
are a
You're a
quarterback
delusional
away.
Giant fan. You're a delusional
We're
Giant
one
fan.
off season, including a
You're
quarterback
delusional.
away.
You're delusional.
Not from a Super Bowl, but being a solid team.
So okay, so
I'm not saying
let me
we're
hear
a
this straight.
quarterback
Let me
away
hear
from the
this
fucking Super
So
Bowl.
the only option, the only guy that would save the Giants right now, that would save their jobs, is Matt Stafford. That's the only guy.
Yeah,
No, we're drafting one.
yeah. That is, yeah, but where are you drafting one?
Also, if you draft one, you need to give them time to
But
develop.
that's why it saves their job, Dean.
They're not bro.
I'm gonna
If
be
they
honest,
if they
the-
stay
the
there for a
Giants
full
just
8 years, bro.
Simply fumbled, not clean. This was the offseason to clean house and start new.
Yeah, the
I
reason.
agree with
I
you
know
on
people
that.
like Dable, but and like it's not his fault. But like they should have cleaned. Like
It was like the Jets last
there's-
season.
It's like to me, it's inevitable that like, what are they gonna do that these guys are gonna? They're gonna draft a quarterback who's not gonna play, but be a developmental piece, and they're gonna say, you know what, you guys have been so ass for the past 4 years. But since you just drafted a quarterback, we got to see it.
But that's the not 3 more years. But they would get another year after that. They would get another shot. I hate to say it, but that's the case.
You're just pushing back the rebuild
with that, Dean.
Because you bring in a new regime and you're going through a whole new rebuild.
But it doesn't even take drafting a quarterback though. Say Shane has another because last year he had a near perfect draft. Every single guy was a hit. Every single one. He does that again. You're not firing the guy. You're just not.
If there's no results, of course you're firing him. Of course you are.
But there going to be results, though. If you have another great draft.
No. A great draft is not results. Winning games on the football field is the only result in the NFL.
But if you have a great draft, did you or did you not add good players?
It doesn't matter if you don't win.
How many good drafts has Joe Shane had?
One. That was it.
He's drafted good players.
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
He's failed.
But if you're Shane, right? They're not giving you. What are you going to do? Fire Daboll? Because at that point, if you have good players but you're not winning, it's Daboll's
I swear to fucking God, if we keep Shane and fire Daboll.
That's the problem. That's the problem here.
I'll go
because if you keep having great drafts and you're saying he's such a good drafter and we have good players and we have a good team, but they don't win ever, what the hell are you going to do? You have to get rid of all of them.
Bro, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I watched all the fucking Giant games, the first 10 games. The beginning of the season, we were literally a quarterback away from being a good fucking football team. I watched those games. I was at a couple of those games. I watched Daniel Jones
you're a Giant fan.
fucking Cape. No, that's not even just the bias coming out. That is me watching a fucking quarterback that was incompetent, run an offense and just ruin us game after game. We had a good pass rush. The defense was not playing terrible, but how much can a fucking defense hold up when you cannot fucking throw the football more than 20 yards downfield accurately? There were so many opportunities there. And the offensive line, I know we all shit on the offensive line. That is a big popular thing this offseason. The Giants have such a bad O-line. We were dominating good defensive lines early in the season, bro.
I saw this on Twitter.
You
quote
Jermaine O'Luminor, yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
We had a great offensive line to start the fucking season. But then everyone got hurt. Andrew Thomas, all-pro left tackle, gets hurt. Jermaine O'Luminor, who never was hurt, gets hurt.
Andrew Thomas always gets hurt, bro.
I know he does, bro, but
how's Evan Neal?
Move him to guard. Mekhi Becton, look, that really worked out. Moved him to guard with the Eagles, and he turned it to a fucking
also
great.
Played alongside dominant offensive lineman in a great system.
Yep, he's gonna play he's gonna play next to dominant offensive lineman in the Giants system.
This team is a ticking time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb.
That's what I'm saying. It's inevitable.
And
bro.
Stafford, I'm not sold on the idea that Stafford saves all these guys' jobs.
He's a savior.
And maybe he can. If anyone can, it's Staff. But Sam Darnold ain't saving these guys' jobs. Justin Fields ain't saving these guys' jobs. It's just not happening. It's inevitable that both of them are fired after this.
They should have been fired.
They should have been fired. I agree.
Right. If we're saying that everybody but Stafford is getting these guys fired, they should have been fired, bro.
Yes. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm agreeing with you guys. I think they should have been fired.
You're still not a quarterback away because you still have Dable as your freaking head coach.
They'd be making a massive mistake if they're the ones who end up with Darnold. Because that would mean whoever gets Darnold is overpaying for Darnold.
Yes, 100%. He's an average quarterback.
He's probably the hottest name in this whole carousel in terms of having the combination of, I guess, being good, but the youth factor and potential factor to grow. He's the hottest name. So
you said
whoever gets
the Giants for Stafford.
No.
We were talking about Sam Darnold.
Not Stafford, sorry.
You
Sam
said
Darnold.
the Giants.
I said the Giants.
Yeah.
You said?
For Sam Darnold, the Raiders.
Okay. I don't even know where I stand with Sam, bro. I really don't. At this point, honestly.
He's upset. He's upset.
I said Steelers. I think Sam Darnold ends up with the Steelers somehow. Yeah, I am very upset, all right? I have a fucking poverty team that is actually the worst team over the last 10 years in the NFL.
And you actually convince yourself that you guys are a quarterback away.
We are right now. Absolutely, we are.
The last 10 years.
No, I think we have the worst record over the last 10 years.
I mean, bro, you look at the last 50 years, bro. Everybody's better than the Jets. It's not saying much. Congratulations, bro.
I mean, yeah, we have 4 Super Bowls, but over the last
maybe
10
maybe
years.
not the Browns. They might be worse. But
Than you guys?
I mean, the Browns have been to the playoffs.
saying the last 50 years.
Oh, 50 years? Yeah.
yeah, they're the worst franchise in football, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We're second worst.
That's Sam Darnold. This one, honestly, I'm gonna say his name now. Another former Jets quarterback here. You could just say he sticks with this team. It's Geno Smith.
Yeah, I see no reason why he doesn't stick with the Seahawks. They were a game out of the playoffs, new head coach. Like, they should just get better internally. And Geno's damn good. Like,
Geno's really good.
I'm inclined to say he stays, but I think for the sake of the video, I'd like to see Geno on the Steelers. I think that would be a great fit. I don't know how much they'd have to give up to get him.
I don't think it's much.
well, Geno's in a contract year this year, right?
Yes, and also the thing is, the reason that I even bring his name up is the Seahawks are in cap hell. One of the teams that I think are below or above the salary cap right now and need to make space. That's either trade DK, trade Geno, or both. You might have to do both.
I'm going to say something controversial right now.
So that's why I bring up Geno's name in the first place. But go ahead.
I say if you're the Seahawks and Steelers, you trade Geno to the Steelers, and the Seahawks bring back Russell on a cheap contract.
You
A Russell
trade
reunion.
Geno to the Steelers, and the Seahawks get Russell Wilson back?
Correct.
Oh, oof.
No.
I think that
I
would
have
work
a
out for
Russell
both
Wilson
sides.
team. Is Russ on this list that you have?
He's not. Wow.
Why not?
But that's yeah.
I have a Russell Wilson team.
Who is it?
The Raiders.
Okay.
Pete Carroll?
He's a name.
I see that.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
Um,
Even if, like I said, Darnold for them, I could see them getting both. Bro, like, Aiden O'Connell ain't the answer
Russ
there.
is
like,
in another
and that's
quarterback
what I
now.
mean. It's a new coaching staff. Like, Pete Carroll has no ties.
Hey,
to
Aiden was
no
all
Aiden.
right late in that
Yeah,
year.
but Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly have no ties
No,
to him.
none.
I could see them going.
God, they got Chip.
What's Russ's contract look
He's a
like?
free agent, no?
Free
No,
agent
no,
right
but
now.
like, what is him getting a contract look like?
1 year deal, I think.
10 to 15
Yeah.
mil. He's getting paid from the Broncos still.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not giving Russ anything. Like, I'm not giving Russ 2 years.
No.
Yeah, I'm only
no.
giving him a 1 year.
And even if I
And,
did
like,
give him 2, I'd guarantee the first. And
And if I'm giving him a 1 year deal, like, as a GM, like, I could care less what the money is. Like, however much,
As long as it fits in the cap.
yeah, if I want you, like, I'm giving you a year, and I'll give you whatever you want as long as it fits our cap and we could still do everything we want to do. But
Russell Wilson, man, I don't even know. I don't even know.
I think the Raiders just make perfect sense, even just to be a backup. Like,
So
Pete Carroll's good. I mean, Pete and Russ kind of had a rough ending to their relationship, but
yeah, they did.
why not restore things?
That's
in
where I'm
Vegas?
at with that. I mean, and Brady and Russ are familiar too,
Gamble.
which is gonna
Get the
have a say in
blackjack
that.
table together, become friends again in Vegas.
So
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
so you said Russ goes back. You said Russ goes back. You said Geno gets
Traded to the Steelers.
traded to the Steelers. Okay. And you say Geno stays, Russ goes to the Raiders. I think Geno gets traded to the Raiders. Pete Carroll and Geno, I think,
I could see
were
that,
together for the
too,
last
yeah.
year. I think he's going to be cheap, and I think Geno is heavily slept on in terms of his ability as a quarterback. I don't think he's Matthew Stafford, but I think if you could get him for far cheaper than a Matthew Stafford in a trade, I don't see why not.
I just think the Seahawks have done such a good job with their rebuild in the post-Russ era. Like, it's all happened so quick for them, and I feel like they're not that far off. And I think Geno's been far from the problem for them. He's probably been one of the only solutions. For
Their
them.
O-line's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah,
been
so I
horrible
think if
for
they
years.
Been
just
bad for
keep-
years, yeah.
But they showed flashes at the end of the season as everyone got a little bit healthier. Like, I like their tackle duo.
Me
If
too.
they could kind of just sure things up through the draft and free agency on the interior. Like, they're good. They're a good team. They could win the division. Like,
But it's tough because, like, as I said before,
I
like,
think DK's the
free
guy who has to
agency.
go.
Oh,
Like,
definitely.
100%.
That's ran its course.
What is
Yeah,
it,
that's
like 20 mil a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 21 or
I'm
22.
saying you
yeah.
could fix a lot of your cap issues by just letting go of DK. So
He's
I don't
been underwhelming,
yeah.
Where?
to say the
though?
least.
Chargers, maybe? But
Oh, I don't know where, but someone will want DK services.
I think
Where's
it's.
he even a
I think
fit?
he'd go for less than people would think he would, to be honest.
Because of his contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, I think I think that the fans view DK in a brighter light than NFL circles,
Oh, 100%.
to be completely honest.
100%.
All right. So that's where we have those guys. And there's two more names left. And obviously, these are the two biggest and most accomplished names in the market at the current moment. We'll start off with, I think you see a theme here, another former Jet, Aaron Rodgers.
I don't have an answer to this one. Retire. The retirement home.
I mean, I think the prophecy has to be fulfilled in him going to the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna ride your back on that one. I'm gonna say that.
I mean, JJ coming off an injury, I think they're going to need another quarterback. I think why would you look farther than Aaron Rodgers? I think, at the very least, Rodgers could start the season. If he doesn't play well, you have JJ McCarthy to step in. I think that's the guy that they end up going with.
And I think the Vikings are looking at this as like, we're not a young quarterback developing and playing well in the regular season away. We're a veteran quarterback who knows how to win big games away, which is Aaron Rodgers and not JJ McCarthy. So,
And he wasn't bad. Aaron Rodgers
He was
not
good.
bad.
He was good, yeah.
fine.
Let's, but
Yes.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, he was fine.
The problem with Aaron Rodgers last season was not him. It was completely coaching and the lackluster of all the other
He was the
guys the
problem
Jets
early.
had.
He was definitely the problem early. Part of the problem.
In totality, he played a fine season.
I mean-
but early he lost some like the Vikings game early on. Like he lost that.
He lost
one,
that
you
game.
know.
God.
But like
but if you
quarterbacks lose games. It's not.
Greg Zuerlein lost the Jets 3 games.
Yeah.
You
early
also
on.
can't rely on a 40-year-old quarterback to go
The
out there
thing
and
with-
play hero ball all the time anymore.
The thing
Like,
with,
it's
but
just
he
not
doesn't
the
have to
case.
play hero ball with the Vikings. And
No, I know.
the
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the thing with Rodgers wasn't like really his play on the field. It was just all the off the field and baggage that came with him, whether it was true or not. All this stuff, but I
A
mean,
lot of that's
I don't-
like
blown out of proportion. I don't.
no,
I don't
it's
fucking
it's
like him, bro.
it's created by the
No, you
But-
don't.
it's created by the media. What the hell?
He does
Aaron
it to
Rodgers.
himself.
He does.
No, but he hops on
There's a
Pat
media
McAfee
for
once.
every quarterback, every player in the NFL. No one gets like negative press really like Aaron. He does it to himself.
We know why he gets negative press though.
Well, yeah. I mean, shit.
I don't think it's his fault.
I know, but
Part of it definitely isn't, but
part of it is.
part of it definitely is. There is stuff that he brings upon himself, the way he acts, the way he responds to questions and stuff like that. There are times where Rodgers definitely has the, I know it all and I'm smarter than you complex. That is how Rodgers
Yeah.
has been
I
his
just
whole.
think it's
But I don't really-
hilarious,
I don't
bro.
really
he
care
did a whole
about that.
reveal of Devontae Adams on the
my
McAfee show
God.
just for them boys.
He
to
goes-
get
he
worse,
goes-
bro.
That was the highlight of the
Just
season,
for
bro.
them boys to get worse,
Bro, they were
Like, it
smiling
was-
ear to ear,
But
bro.
like realistically, just to play on the field, like Rodgers, I don't know if I would say they could win a Super Bowl, but Rodgers is good enough to put the Vikings like in the thick of things in the NFC.
They're a Super Bowl contender if they get Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know.
Vikings.
Yes.
I mean, I thought they were a Super Bowl contender anyway. I think you just needed to
I
plug
can't
somebody
say
in.
that yet. I can't say that yet.
I think they looked fantastic most of the year. I think their defense is
Their
there.
defense is also like their entire secondary is free agents, so like they're gonna lose some.
It's
guys.
also tough
They
to
draft
mess
well,
up
though.
that offense when you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and you have Kevin O'Connell
TJ Hawkinson
leading the charge. Right,
Travion
like-
Henderson,
And one of the best
24.
offensive lines
that
in
would be
the
a
NFL.
perfect fit.
Yeah.
Big perfect fit.
So I
I
want
like that though.
I think, I mean, it makes sense. It's fulfilling the prophecy too. History repeats itself. But I think I'm gonna group these next two together. These two together. I'm gonna say the next one obviously is Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford ends up getting traded to the New York Giants. Stafford tries to save Brian Dable and Joe Sain's job.
Point and laugh. Point and laugh.
And Aaron Rodgers ends up going to Los Angeles all the way across the country to play with the Los Angeles Rams and potentially go win a Super Bowl on the cheap with Sean McVay because they don't want to pay Stafford. Rodgers still has at least another year of ball left, in my opinion. We saw that the arm strength did not go anywhere for the most part. So I think Aaron Rodgers ends up in L.A. I think Matthew Stafford ends up with New York, and that's that.
With Devontae Adams, they both go?
Yeah, I think Devontae goes.
I just don't see the I don't see Staff leaving the Rams. I don't care that they're saying they don't want to pay. That's Sean McVay's guy. Like, he handpicked Matt Stafford to be the guy. Like, I don't know why wouldn't you pay him for 2 years? Like, I don't know.
I think it's also
They're
all
so
smoke. I
close,
think it's all
bro.
negotiation
Yeah,
tactics. Like,
yeah.
I agree with you. If you're the Rams, that's your best option. Who the hell else are you gonna bring in?
No, you can't get a better quarterback than Matthew
That's what I'm
Stafford
saying.
right now.
And like,
They're
if
there.
we could and if we could see that they're not that far away, like, they know they're not that far away, bro.
I mean, they're one game away from
Not
the
that
Super Bowl.
far. Yeah, I was about to
That's
say
what
they're
I'm
there.
saying.
They're not even.
Like,
They're not just far away. They are
yeah,
there.
I agree. It's all a negotiation thing. Just he wants to get the most money he could get, and rightfully so. Like, probably gonna play it. Whatever this next contract is, you're gonna play that out and then ride into the sunset.
Yeah.
See you later. So, yeah, get your fucking bag. But like, if I'm the Rams, like, shit, why wouldn't we?
And if you're Stafford, why would you even want the
Yeah.
trade? You know, like
And this
I
is
just
why
don't
the Rams.
you can't want
This
it.
is why the Rams retooled their roster the way they did and aren't paying all these guys so much money and shit like that, and paying the Von Millers, Aaron Donalds, Jalen Ramseys of the world, and built their defense through the draft so they could afford this.
I'm not understanding going to get your bag like this, though. You're the starting quarterback, and you're a vet in the league. You've made your millions and millions and millions of dollars.
One of the richest
and
quarterbacks
now,
in NFL history.
And now you're squeezing your own team into not being able to do what they want in the offseason because you need to get paid. I feel like that's a little
Slap in the
selfish.
face.
I mean, bro, you've looked at the great quarterbacks throughout the years. I think Brady's been taking pay cuts. I don't know. I can't name one off the top of my head. Other quarterbacks have taken pay cuts for their teams to be able for their teams to be able to do what they need to do to win another Super Bowl. And Matt Stafford's not doing that. And I don't think that's completely fair to the team. I just don't. If you're a franchise quarterback, you take one for the team. You have millions and millions of dollars.
Do
bro.
they have to give him an extension like going into this year?
No, but I don't think Staff is gonna.
What's he gonna
Play
do?
that
Hold
shit.
out or just
Just
retire?
retire. He's accomplished everything he's wants to
That's
accomplish.
the
in his
ultimatum,
career.
right? You pay me or I retire, and you
So
just
it's
stuck.
either
He's been content with retiring
that's
for like
crazy,
2 years. now.
though. Like, to think about, like, either you give me $100 million for these next 2 years, or I retire and get $0 for these next.
Yeah, but he's already made three.
I know, but that's just crazy.
that's the point, though,
That's what
right?
I'm
You made
saying.
your
No,
money.
no,
Why
I
do you need
agree.
another $100 million?
I
to play?
agree with you, but who am I to reach into a guy's pockets? Number
No,
one, but also
No,
like,
I'll reach into his pockets.
but it's
Go in the
also
middle,
like,
I'll reach. That little zip. I like that pocket. That's a good one.
I just think that it's almost a slap in the face, and I don't think the Rams really play that either. So it's like, we don't have to pay you in the end, because if you want to get traded and you want to get your bag, if that's your priority, getting your bag, we'll trade you, we'll get a pick for you, and we'll sign one of these free agents, probably Aaron Rodgers, who wants to go get a Super Bowl at this point, for super cheap because he's getting paid by you guys.
Right.
In a similar vein to what Russell Wilson just did.
Right. Like, you're on the verge as a veteran quarterback of
Being an
building
all-time great,
building a
bro.
second Super Bowl team within your same tenure. That's great stuff right there. That's all-time great quarterback stuff to be able to build 2 championship rosters within 5 years.
Think about it. He had 2 careers. He
Two
had the
career-
stat
right.
padding career,
Right.
where he has ridiculous numbers on a bad team, and then he goes and gets Super Bowl. And now we look at Matthew Stafford as an all-time great because he has 2 arguments.
And
he has
then-
a Super Bowl argument. He has the numbers argument.
And then if you go win another one, you had a third career where you built another team. It's just like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be there for that.
Yeah, I think he does want to be there.
I do too.
I really do think this is all just testing the market, and like you said, it's whether it's right or wrong, but this is all just like squeezing everything he can out of them. And from an outsider's perspective, it's like, damn, like, just go win your Super Bowl. But shit, if I was in that position, I could squeeze an extra $10 million out of these dudes by playing hardball, I probably would too. Honestly.
Especially if, like, you know in your head in a way that you're just going to take the deal anyway if they don't do it. Why not, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, Sean McVay spoke about this a few days ago. I didn't watch the full interview, but from the gist I saw, he was just saying, like, look, like, Stafford's the guy. Like, if I had to pick someone to be our quarterback next year, it's obviously Stafford, but this is a business, and these are the things that kind of come with it. So we'll kind of, he said basically, like, it's above me what happens here. Like, if I had to pick, I'd pick Stafford, so we'll see what happens. So I think Stafford probably feels the same way. Like, it's,
If he could pick a team, he'd pick
like,
the
look,
Rams.
I want to be here, but, like, you know, money, whether we like it or not, like, the money matters to these guys, and it's a big shit. Like,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, from the outside looking at these guys, it's like, why does, like, an extra $10 million, let's say, matter to a guy like Matt Stafford? But shit, $10 million is $10 million at the end of the day.
But to my point earlier,
Still
like, I know you
relative,
say
I
you
guess.
want Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, if he's not willing to take a pay cut to play for the Rams, he's not flying across
No.
the country to play in New York for the Giants, bro.
Nobody said he's taking a pay cut if he comes to play
No,
for the
regardless.
Giants.
No, I'm
He's
just
not going to the
saying.
Giants,
He's
bro.
not like, bro, if bro's willing to retire,
pull
then
Gronk,
play for the
yeah.
Rams, he's not playing for
he'll
the
just
Giants.
retire.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Bro.
He don't want to play
Who the
there,
hell
bro.
wants to
I'm
do that?
Sorry, bro. I'm
I don't know.
sorry.
You never know. I think
Threatening retirement, but I'll go play for the Giants. No, it doesn't work like
Giants
that.
would give him a bag. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you're on the Giants.
But you're getting a bag. If money matters the most to you, then you want your
I think
bag.
the money from the Rams matters the most.
Yes, agreed. That's what he would want the most. Yes, he wants $50 million from the Rams.
From the Rams. Not
But
the
if he doesn't get, I'm saying, like, what is your priority? If your priority is money and the Giants are saying, we'll give you 50, here you go, without any issue. You walk in and you're getting $50 million.
I think you
I
just
think the
retire.
priority is money and winning, though. Like, it's not just money.
Right, at
Who
this
says
point
you
in his
can't do
career.
both in New York?
Oh, my God.
We're not having this
All
discussion.
right, so I
again.
have Rodgers going to the Vikings, and I have Steph staying in LA. You have the same thing?
Yeah.
And you have
I have Rodgers going to LA, Staff coming to the Giants.
nice.
So
Delusional Giant fan.
probably.
Per
You
usual.
gotta hope. You gotta hope at least a little bit. So isn't that part of
that all
being
the
a fan of a
QBs?
team?
Yeah, I guess.
That's all of them, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything.
All right.
All right.
Take us home.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Go join the Discord where we talk fantasy football, we talk regular football, we talk basketball, we talk everything you possibly want to talk about. It is on there. So go join that.
Oh,
Hit us
yeah,
up.
For real, though, because if you guys are at this point in the video, that means you rock with us. If you watch this whole, 40-ish minute video, if you're here, that means you rock with us. So that means you're good enough to join the Discord. But not only just join the Discord, please, if you join the Discord, be active in the Discord, ask us questions, drop your fantasy team, drop fantasy football trades, drop your NBA bets, whatever it is.
Drop
just-
trivia suggestions,
just
please.
Be active in that Discord, because we're trying to really grow that thing, and obviously we want to tell you guys to join it, but we need you guys to be active in there too for it to really grow. So make sure you guys join that, and comment down below where you think all these quarterbacks are going.
Every single one.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
That was BallGame.
BallGame.